Race can be defined in three different ways in sociology: genetic, legal, and social. Each of these ways have been used in America and other nations to categorize people into different groups. While race is ultimately a social construct, today we'll explore how these three different definitions of race have played a role in shaping our society. The first most well-known definition is based on genetics. While people of the same region may look vastly different, they tend to share more genes with each other than from people of other locations. This is how ancestry kits are able to map your family tree and point to how much of you came from where. From this, laws started to form to create a legal definition of race. While it can be impossible to tell what race someone is just by looking at them, laws were created to separate people based on how many family members in their direct bloodline were deemed a certain race. In the United States, this was seen most prominently during the Jim Crow era, where you could be forced to use different, often worse quality, facilities based on how your race was defined. This was done using what was known as a one-drop rule, which meant that if you had one person of non-white descent in your family, you would not be considered white either and segregated legally from the defined white majority. But this wasn't the only example of a law being created to isolate a member of a certain group. During apartheid South Africa, it was illegal to have a mixed-race child. The child, if born, was born the race of whatever was more helpful to the racist system. You could be promoted to being white or denigrated to being black, not based on your physical attributes, but your social ones. This brings us to the social definition of race. This definition depends more on your ethnicity than just your sole appearance. What is ethnicity then? It is the combination of your appearance, your traditions, your religion, cultural norms, region, and more that all form your ethnicity. An example of this could be to look at ethnic Bavarians in southeastern Germany. While physically they appear similar to those in northern Germany, they have a quite unique culture and dialect that differentiates them from those in, let's say, Berlin, making them a specific German ethnic group. How does this play into the American views on race? Here in America, some communities will often determine who's part of their in-groups and out-groups based on how they talk and where they're from. An example of this would be a genetically Hispanic man not being part of Mexican culture due to not being able to speak Spanish or knowing Mexican traditions. All three definitions of race help us to form a sense of identity in us, be it being able to say you're some percent French, to having a unique culture you grew up a part of, to possibly facing legal issues based on things you could not control. Race is a social construct, but that doesn't make it any less important to your life. It is a part of your identity. It is part of how you become you. Thank you for watching.